Bro, do you like the new setup?
I'm glad that we didn't fucking tear anything up this time.
Tacos con todo.
Oh, are those tacos? You better believe they're tacos.
Let's get a taco.
Who would have thought they'd have tacos here?
You realize that's probably a Camel ass taco.
Told my wife I wouldn't drink tonight.
Give me one of those famous giant beers I heard so much about.
What's against your lips? It's so good. Start the episode already. What are we doing?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Tacos with Beer. I'm Alfie.
And I'm your boy, Philip Field. And if you are watching us on YouTube, we ask you to please hit that subscribe button and that bell button so that way you get notified every time we drop a new episode. Also, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, any of those other podcasts you listen to, make sure you hit the follow button on that so that way you too can be notified every time we drop a new episode.
And please hit that like button.
Ding, 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 ding.
What's up, bro?
What's going on, man? Chilling like a villain.
Yeah, man. Welcome back.
Yep.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. Which I know we like to do this thing where we like disappear for a little bit and then come back, disappear, come back, disappear. Because we were really on a good road where we were just kind of like constantly recording every week. And then, you know, life happens.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes we fall off a little bit, but it's all good, man. We're back.
And also, guys,
We're here. We're queer. JK.
Just him.
Just because it's the fucking Pride Month, bro.
Oh, yeah, it's Pride Month. Yeah. Happy Pride
Just
Month
me.
for them.
I'm gay. My dad's gay. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm just kidding.
I'm straight as an arrow. But, you know, no knocking on anybody else. Also, guys, if you are new to the channel or new to the podcast, appreciate y'all stopping by and checking us out. We've been getting hella hits ever since we dropped the new TikTok profile.
Yeah.
So if you are on TikTok, you want to follow us, check it out at Tacos with Beer and check it out. We have some of our clips on there. And I feel like, you know, ever since we dropped it on TikTok, because TikTok is like, they're, like you said, like in the last episode, you said their algorithm is just so smooth and it's just constantly, you know, just going.
Yeah.
We popped up on, I think, my For You page, and I don't even follow us.
That's
I
funny.
I was like, hey, that's me. And then I was like, hey, what is this? And you're like, oh yeah, I made a TikTok. And I was like, oh, that's crazy because, you know, I didn't know anything about it. And you know, you just kind of dropped it on me. I didn't know until I saw it on TikTok. And I was flipping through my pages. I say, hey, that's me.
Yeah, I know, because we use Instagram mainly.
Yeah,
I mean, I think we have a Facebook, but we
have a Facebook page. It's kind of hard to keep up with social media pages now because...
Well, it's not even that, dude. It's like you have your own personal stuff, and then all the stuff that we have for this account, there's so much shit, dude.
I know. I be saving a lot of stuff on, like, just random quotes I see or funny pictures that I see. I try to save it for the... for our TikToks page, and then I ended up, or our, you know, Instagram page or our Facebook page, but then I just throwing up it on my page. I'm trying to get all the credit, damn it.
I know, dude, and there's really good content on there.
There is. So
everybody's always constantly posting something stupid.
So we had a couple events going on this weekend. We had one Mexico versus USA for those who are involved in soccer.
Oh, dude,
that was a good game. I don't know.
I don't know if it was that good. I heard from a lot of family that, because when I was down there, I went to California to visit. You know, it was the first time I got to see my parents during the pandemic, so that was fucking awesome, man.
Nice.
And you know, we were all sitting around watching the game, and I don't really follow soccer, but you know, since you're there with family, you know, might as well join in. And everybody at the end was like, fuck, man, they barely won. And I was like, what do you mean they won? What are you talking about?
So, to me, it was a good game because I was watching it, and then, you know, I walked away for maybe 4 minutes, and boom, Mexico scored right off the bat. And then USA came back and scored right then and there after them. And it was just a good game all the way around, all the way to the last, you know, penalty shot. So the funniest thing, I thought it was funny because, you know, Mexico came to, you know, Arlington, Texas, 2 weeks ago. So they had a game down here. It was a friendly game from against Iceland. And people don't understand that when Mexico plays, their fans are just ruthless.
Oh,
they just don't give a shit. And I think that's so funny. I think that's why I'm a fan of Mexico's soccer team, because they just don't give a shit.
Represent the motherland, baby. Mexico, right here.
It's funny because anytime the other team would do a goal kick, you know, their biggest thing is they'll go, and as soon as the goalie kicks it, or the other team, they'll go, puto! right? So the federation has actually been, penalizing Mexico because of that, because it's a slur language. You know,
Right.
You're calling them a fucking gay person. You know,
Yeah.
That's
It's really more like the FG.
yeah. So
FAG.
So, the Federation has came back and they've actually, started penalizing Mexico, which sucks because it's not Mexico's fault. It's the people, But it's just, Mexico has such a love for their game. They just do not give a shit. And what I noticed, too, is anytime somebody gets hurt on the field of the team, they do the fucking wave. That's what I noticed too. I was like, wait a minute, why are they doing the wave? And then somebody had told me, well, it's because anytime the other players, other teams' players go down, they do the wave. And I was like, well, that's kind of fucked up. So, and then they'll start, one of the chants that they also chant is culero. They go, culero. And so if people are watching the Mexico and soccer, the Mexico versus USA, I had told my dad, watch this game. It's going to be great. Because, I'm a Mexico fan.
Right.
And when old boy did the penalty shot, he scored and he got all, it was like towards the end of the game, and he took his shirt off and he was like taunting the fans. As soon as he went, in my head, I'm like, bro, that is a bad idea. So he went to the corner of the field, and you see fans, the Mexico fans, just chunking beer at him. They were throwing cups, they were throwing all kinds of stuff. And then they actually hit one of the USA players, and then they tried to flop and they got hurt. And it's like they had to stop it for a little bit, but it's like you can't fire up these Mexico fans because they will walk down to the field and kick your ass, like literally. So, I mean, I think I don't normally watch soccer because I don't know.
I don't either.
I think it's not really a big time American sport, because you have football here.
Dude, everybody watches soccer though.
Yeah, everybody.
The rest of the world.
Yeah, the rest of the world does, but it's not really that big. Now it's big in like Seattle, it's big in Atlanta, it's in big like different. I think California too.
Yeah, like the LA Galaxy. Alex
Galaxy. Who else? It's
who do we have? Oh, FC Dallas, right?
FC Dallas is for us, and then you have Atlanta United. I know they're big. I've actually checked out their stadium. Their stadium's pretty cool. And then you have the Seattle. Forgot their names, but they're pretty big. They always televise them.
The clubs actually have pretty good money.
They got pretty good following.
I think it was a couple years back they brought David Beckham to one of the teams
LA Galaxy.
Oh, was it? Yeah, because I know they were trying to get
a lot.
Some draw.
They usually do a lot of people who play in the Premier League. So like people who do follow the Premier Leagues, like kind of like when they start getting towards of not playing anymore or I guess retiring, they'll come to MLS just to kind of get some of the fans excited. Because for people who watch soccer in America, is 9 times out of 10 it's the Premier League. Yeah, it's over there in Europe. So when they bring all these big names to the MLS, they try to bring revenue and money to the sport, because MLS over here is kind of like Canadian football in Europe. Like it's
I wouldn't even say that.
MLS is kind of like a joke. It's kind of like a joke in Europe because
right. As far as like the players go and like the teams, the
talent
clubs,
and all that, they're kind of like a joke, and just like how we view Canadian football.
Well, see, another thing too is like I don't know. I feel like the NHL is not such a huge sport here.
I think so. I think so. I think if our team like towards the playoffs, it becomes a big sport. Not like Canada and up north. Now, up north, it's all hockey up there. Because you have
right. In Canada, I mean, that's their football.
Yeah. So like in down south, Texas, mainly Texas, football is everything. They give Texas the big 3 Fs: family, faith, and football. That's basically what it is.
Oh, I thought that was fuck 'em, fool 'em, and then forget 'em.
That is your 3 Fs, Alfonso. So how's it like in California?
It was good, man. It was actually pretty open, dude. It wasn't as no, actually, it was kind of trippy because we were going to like bars and like everything was shutting down like at 10, and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
Fucking rookies.
What are we, fucking school children over here or what? Shutting down at 10 o'clock. But yeah, because it's a lot of the stuff surrounding LA is open. Just everybody's kind of gone back to normal but mainly, my thing was I just wanted to go visit my friends. I mean, I got to see a couple friends, and so like shout out to my friend Joe and my friend Ernie because they're dope as shit. But I got to see, my family. And the main thing was, my parents, bro, because I hadn't seen them since the pandemic. So getting to go visit them, because they're older, they have to be protected. So, it's been kind of rough for them, because a lot of family hasn't been able to come and visit them. And, it's now that everything's kind of calmed down and we kind of understand this whole pandemic a lot better, a lot more families been going over to visit my mom and my dad. And, so.
Well, that's good.
They were in really good spirits when I got there. And, I went out there for my nephew's confirmation.
Okay.
It's a Catholic thing that
Yes.
you do. And
So how many siblings do you have? I know we talked about it, but we haven't really talked about it on the show.
yeah, I have 10 siblings.
10 siblings.
Yes, I have 8 sisters and 2 brothers.
Wow.
And then I have a stepbrother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so technically I would have 11 siblings.
Yeah. So did y'all all go down there in California, or we're just kind of?
No. It was just me. I mean, most of my family lives down there in California.
How old is your oldest sibling?
49.
49.
Yeah.
You're the baby, right?
Yeah.
Spoiled
She's
ass
like
kid.
50. Everybody always says that. They're like, you're the baby? You must have been spoiled. It's like, yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Because there's stories.
to be you.
Believe me, there's like stories that my brother have told me of like the ass whoopings that they got.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, they must have missed me
I
with
think
that shit.
I think that's just how it is because I'm the baby of the family as well. I mean, it's just me and my sister.
Yeah.
But she caught all the ass whoopings when we were older, But my thing is I saw all the ass whoopings that she got, so I was like, well, whatever you did, I'm not doing that because I don't want the same wrath of that. So I think I kind of just. My sister, you always tease me like, you never got whoopings, you never got hit. I always, did all that, and I always did this, and blah, blah, blah. But it's kind of like, well, seeing how bad you were and, getting your ass kicked, I was like, don't want no part of that. So I just like, I'm not, whatever you're doing, I'm not doing that. So it's kind of like I learned.
That's funny, dude. I was the complete opposite because I was a fucking wild child, bro. As a kid, like, since I got free range to do anything, I took advantage of that. That's why I got into a lot of shit when I was a kid. So I am kind of glad, and that's something I don't think I really expressed to people a lot. That was one of the main reasons why I left California was because, I was around a lot of bad influences, and it was like, if I'm ever going to change and try to get myself to not be around all that stuff, and I want to specifically get into what, but I was like,
Let me just come to Texas.
Yeah, just get away.
We can walk around with guns.
It was definitely different. And it's funny too, bro? Like, I remember thinking like, fuck, my parents moved to Texas, so they're like, you should come check it out. I was like, well, you want me to go to the place where people ride horses as their transportation?
And then you got a taste of this Texas heat, and you're like, fuck, what is this?
That's how people view. Dude, I swear. Well, because and then I would talk to my mom on the phone. Like, how's it going? It's like, oh, we went to this like a cattle. What was it?
A cattle run.
No, yeah, I think so. Maybe
the stockyards?
Yeah,
the cattle run.
So I'm thinking like, oh, they really do have all the horses stuff, So I'm like,
really?
The parade for cows and what? She wasn't really too specific about it. So I was, when I showed up, I get here.
You show up in a cowboy hat.
Nah, I'm looking around. And I'm like, this is a fucking city, dude.
What did you think it was gonna be? Like the Wild Wild West?
For real, dude. Like I was like, shit. What am I?
You think we were fucking on cattle on fucking the what are those horses? The cattle, the carriages and all that.
Yeah,
you thought we came on that looking like Westworld.
You have to remember this is more like pre-internet stuff, like internet.
Oh yeah, because you came in like what 2007?
Yeah, 2007.
So
it's like the internet, but it's not as how it is now, where everybody knows where you live, how your area is.
This is before Facebook popped off.
Yeah, exactly. So
MySpace was still kicking in.
Yeah.
This is MySpace
shout
ages,
out to
bro.
Tom for
Shout
dipping
out,
out.
Tom. Yeah, never
Instead of
fucking
selling out like Facebook did.
Nah, he never fucking deleted none of my top 8 friends.
That was the shit, right?
Yeah,
it was like your top
and
8.
You could put like music.
It's like, bro, I'm
there.
in your top 8. Oh, dude, I love you.
I know, right? You just felt like some kind of like you felt some kind of special when you look on somebody's profile and you saw yourself on somebody's top 10 or top 8.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I'm that motherfucker right there. Yep, that's me. Click on the profile. Check out how I decorated my page because everybody thought they were like computer wizards when they were like you can change the background and you had everybody was computer coding, learn how to do that shit and putting music on in the background. You know, every time you pull up to somebody's page and you see it all decked out, you're like, bro, this motherfucker knows what he's doing.
And it wasn't even the case. All you would do is you would go online to these sites where they had like all these
Yeah. The generation code, the generator code.
Yeah, the generator code where it's like you could like pick out
Just copy and
what
paste.
you wanted. Yeah, it was copy and paste, right? So it's like, oh, dude, you'd find like sick shit, and then you go to like people's pages, you're like, dang, it's pretty lit.
Yeah.
You know, a real common one, and where obviously where I'm from in California, it was like a lot of the marijuana leaf, the glowy marijuana leaves in the backgrounds and stuff. So that was fucking great. Your top 8, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking Facebook, man. What was before Facebook?
It was Facebook, then it was MySpace.
I'm
First, it was,
I'm sorry. It was before MySpace.
I think it was Mi Gente.
No. That's the one that you said here, but there was like a more like general for everybody.
Xanga.
Yeah, that's the one.
But that was just for blogs.
I never got on that though.
Yeah, that's when blogs became like really big. Like when you write down shit, like
Yeah.
people who are like new, like upcoming journalists
yeah,
who
yeah,
write about
yeah.
shit, and everybody would just read it.
I never really got into that. I never got into that one. I started on MySpace, with my first friend Tom. Love that guy. Shout out to Tom again.
And his profile has never changed.
Nah, dude. I actually looked him up like a couple of years ago. I was like, I wonder what he's up to, bro. He's out there living life, man.
That's good.
He took his millions and he's just like
is he on
been
Facebook?
traveling.
Is he on Facebook now?
He's on Instagram.
Oh,
Well, I mean, technically that is Facebook.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I guess Tom just took his money and just like ran with it. You know, my wife was telling me, you don't ever go back to your Facebook page and kind of like, I mean your MySpace page and kind of see all your old pictures, but it takes forever to fucking load.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like,
what is it now? Isn't it like a music thing now?
no, it's still MySpace.
It's still social media?
Yeah, it's still social media, but I mean, nobody talks about it no more.
I mean, I haven't been on there. I can't remember. You know what? I'm going to have to go look now because what you're talking about.
I think we should create a MySpace page. Maybe our views will go up.
No, I think we got to stick to TikTok with that.
So you didn't get to see none of it. So because back then MySpace, it wasn't like updated pictures like it is on Facebook. So you came to Texas, you're like, oh, this ain't the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, dude, it wasn't. Not at all. I was like, wow, this is like the concrete jungle, baby. It's nothing. It's the same shit, bro. To be honest, it's just
the weather's different over there.
Yeah. I mean, I would say, as far as like people, everything, it's kind of the same shit, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Then why you stay? Because fucking Texas is great.
Because Texas is A1, baby.
A1, baby.
Hey guys, we're taking a break to talk to you about Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Me and Phil did it, you can too. And the best part, it's free. Anchor hosts our podcast. And I don't know if you noticed, but we didn't start sounding great until we switched to Anchor. They have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast. And honestly, the best part is Anchor will distribute your podcast on everything: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And you can make money, guys. Trust me, Anchor is everything you need. Anchor. So what'd you think about this fight?
To be honest, bro, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I didn't either. Man.
I didn't watch it. I mean, people were saying Floyd lost, and I'm like, oh shit, did he really lose? But then I saw like the rules of it, and the rules were like if Jake Paul, that's right, Jake Paul or Logan Paul?
That was Logan Paul.
Okay, so if Logan Paul can last within a certain amount of minute or a certain amount of rounds, then he would win.
Oh, really? That's what it was? I didn't even know that.
Because there's no judges. It's just kind of like, even the commentaries are just like Snoop Dogg or something like that. So
I don't know.
It's a money fight, and it's a pay-per-view fight, and I think it was more for the money deal. Because even Floyd was like, this is pretty much a bank robbery. Because he got like 50% of each revenue at each revenue sale that the pay-per-view got. So
dang.
He just.
Do you know how much he made? Do you know the numbers?
Somewhere in the millions. I think like 50 million.
Yeah, I was thinking 50 million. Dude, that's.
And I think Logan Paul, right?
Yeah, Logan.
I think he only took home like maybe 450,000.
No way.
Yeah, bro, like something small. But I think it was just more for an image thing. But
Wow.
I don't know. To me, I was like, I could make that shit in the stop. Fuck. I'm just capping.
Dude, it was
I'm
like,
capping hard in the motherfucker right now. I'm capping hard.
It was like the it was like Fire Festival, you know. I was
Yeah.
watching some of the TikToks of people that were there. It's like this dude's like, these are $1,000 seats, second row, and they're like, we can't even see the fight, and then they're like so far away, and then he's like panning the camera around, you know, and there's nobody there. There's like nobody there in the shot. I'm like, what? It's so empty, dude. It looked bare bones, man. I was like, what?
I mean,
the
they showed
fuck?
like they had celebrities there. Like they had a bunch of like social media stars there. I don't know. To me, I can see where like real boxers are kind of like, you're kind of mocking the sport.
Oh yeah, for
You know?
sure, dude.
And I get it. You know, it's more of like Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Now that they're winning, I think it just boosted their egos like ridiculously high to the point where like they think they just can call out anybody and start disrespecting anybody. You know what I'm saying?
I know, like he did that to Cormier.
Yeah.
And
And
you
did
know,
it to-
Cormier is pretty much like, fuck you, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think he would ever go down to that level. I don't
And
think he would ever
it's-
go down to that level.
The problem is like even Canelo said it in one of his interviews. He was saying that y'all are making a mockery of the sport and y'all want like real fighters to go, but it's like y'all not even taking like who is allowing these people to fight, because he said you're supposed to have a license to fight because you can actually kill somebody in the ring,
Right,
You know,
yeah.
fighting. So it's like you don't have the same license as we do to fight, and you're just making you're taking it as a joke. And for us, we take this as real life. And to be honest, they really don't want to step into the ring with the real like, because I feel like Floyd. I mean, one, he's out of his, you know, from
He's
the
out of
looks
his prime.
Yeah.
He hasn't boxed in so many
and
years.
I guarantee you, he wasn't really going 100% because he knows at the end of the day, he's not. He really doesn't have his reputation on the line because he already retired. So
Nah, he's
but
there
like
to collect a check
like
and
if
make money.
Like Manny Pacquiao. You know, Manny Pacquiao's still in professional boxing. He's finna box Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? That's a real fight, not no YouTubers or TikTokers, fighting, So I just feel like at some point I get it. It's for fun, and you're
Yeah.
trying to make money, but, don't make a mockery of the sport where you're thinking.
Oh, they're already making a huge mockery of the sport. Now you have what is it, TikTokers versus YouTubers? There's an event that's actually going to happen pretty soon, and I was like,
Hey, you know what? Hey, not gonna lie. What if we become podcasters of TikTok and somebody wants to? You know what? I'm not gonna lie. If somebody called us out to like a tag team match, I would fucking do it. I'm not gonna lie. I would. Shit, call me out, bro. Tables, ladders, and chairs. Let's go. I've been dreaming about this moment since I was 8.
Right?
I'm
dude.
still old enough to get on that ladder and do a
Dude,
flip.
every time. The only thing I thought of when you said tables, ladders, and chairs was the moment where Mankind goes to that cage and just falls. I feel like that was like the greatest moment in like WWE history for me.
Yeah.
As a kid going like, oh my God, he's dead. He's dead.
And it did
Who
make
the fuck was he fighting?
Undertaker, bro.
Oh yeah, it was the Undertaker.
Yeah.
That motherfucker put him through the cage. Boom.
Like so boxing, okay, but wrestling, bro, let's if we get on that where podcasters of TikTok and somebody calls us out to a tag team match, to a real and then be live pay-per-view, bro, you better be ready to fucking go. Because I
ready to
will
fight some people.
I would be outside fucking training on my kids. I'd be like, look, just stand there. I'm gonna put these tables out, and you're just gonna. That way, I know where to slam them.
This is something too. Like as an adult, I had like zero respect for WWE.
Really? Why? I love
Because-
WWE. Back then, not now.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. As a kid, I loved it, bro. Like coming in, like from the weekend.
Yeah.
As a 7th grader,
Yeah.
Monday it was like the first topic was like, bro,
Well, it
did
was
you see
Tuesday.
The Rock? And
Well, it was
blah? Oh yeah.
So
you're right,
Sunday was
Tuesday.
pay-per-views, Monday was Monday Night Raw, and then Thursday was Thursday Night SmackDown.
Yeah, so
that
it's
was
like-
the original layout.
Yeah. So the two, dang, you
They
got
tell
it.
you,
You
bro.
got it down, bro.
I have it down,
Did you ever go to a pay-per-view?
bro.
Or
Yes.
That's somebody-
When I was a kid. Okay, let me tell you this story.
really?
One time.
Wow.
Okay, so when I was younger, me and my cousin, we went to Vacation Bible School, right? And
Yeah.
we were, I think it was about
You were children
15?
of God.
for about 14, 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And literally we were across the street from the American Airlines.
This isn't a molestation story, is it? Oh, okay. All right, go ahead.
No. So the American Airlines was like literally across the street. They just built it, and our church was across, like, you know where the for people who live in Dallas, you know where 75, when you're coming on 35 and you jump on 75, and right before it's like the first exit, I forgot what I think is Field Street. Anyways, we had a church right there, and we were outside because we were taking a break, or we're on break time, I guess. And the parking lot that we have of the church shared the same parking lot as American Airlines. So we saw these guys come up, right? And we're like, hey, did y'all, in wrestling's, Raw's going on right now. And we're like, hey, y'all don't want to go to the show or not? And he goes, there was like two guys. They're like, nah, we've already been there. I mean, we've already seen it. We're ready to go party. So we're like, hey, can we have your tickets? They were like laughing at us. They're like, yeah, here, go ahead. I doubt you can get in. I was like, okay. So me and my cousin, we took the tickets, and then like all the other kids that were in the Vacation Bible School, they kind of just, went back inside, and me and my cousin, we hauled ass to the American Airlines with the tickets. They already tore the tickets off and everything, but they
because they had already gone in.
They already got in.
Oh,
so they gave them to us. So we started hauling ass to American Airlines. So we're like, man, I hope we can get in. So we went up to the door, and then we're like, hey, we just stepped out for a little bit to go meet our parents. Can we get back in? They scanned. They're like, yeah, you already got scanned. So me and my cousin went in for free.
That's dope,
so we're like,
bro.
okay, so where are these seats at? So, bro, when we got to the seats, we were at the bottom. Like, right at the bottom. And I think there was like 3 more matches left of the night. And the last match, it was Goldberg, Kane, and The Undertaker versus like Triple H, Stone Cold, and The Rock.
Bro, that's like the that's the prime A beef.
Exactly.
That's like their main.
Yeah, that was the main event.
Yeah, the main event.
Like I said, I was about 13, 14 years old. So this is kind of like the, back in, the early 2000s.
Right. You were like in 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah, so I'm like, it's like 2000, 2001 or 99, somewhere around there. And that's just when the wrestling was at its prime.
Dude, yeah, at its peak.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I was super excited. Me and my cousin, we're like, man, we kind of looked at each other like, man, you think we're gonna get in trouble because we didn't show back up to Vacation Bible School because we were already there? And I was like, man, I wonder if my parents are gonna find out, right?
Man, fuck that, we're here.
Exactly. So that's what his mentality was.
Let's go find a beer, dude.
I was this close, but then I was like, man. So I was already freaking out because I already knew Vacation Bible School ended at 9. And that's exactly kind of like the time frame that Raw ended, was like 9:30ish. So we didn't even get to kind of like see the finale because I'm like, fuck, it's already 9 o'clock. My mom and them are on their way. So we saw like right when they like counted 1, 2, 3 and it was over. Usually they have like this big celebration at the end. You know, they're all, and it goes on like for another 30, 45 minutes off screen. You know, so I was like, we gotta go. So we ran right back to the church. I pulled up. My mom is out there. Some of the teachers are out there. And my sister's out there, and they were just all like, where have y'all been? And we were just like, in my head, I'm like, we just had the time of our life. That's what I went. But they were like, what are y'all doing over there? And I'm just like, my mom was so pissed at me. My mom was so mad at me. Remember I told you this last segment that my sister was always the one that got ass whoopings?
Yeah.
Or this time I took that ass whooping, but I thought it was.
Did you really get an ass whooping?
I mean, I got in trouble. I got hit. But
Did you get the chancla?
I mean, I got hit, and but I took it as like, I take this hit for what this.
Yeah.
Because I could never
that's
take.
so fucking epic, bro.
I could never take back that story because that was like, oh, that was so great, and just to see like The Rock, Stone Cold, The Undertaker, Kane, Goldberg.
Hey,
like,
let me ask
them.
you something, because I think watching it on TV is kind of different versus them being there. How did the wrestling look? Did it look fake or did it look real?
It looks really real.
Just about as good as it is on
TV.
TV.
The last event that we went to, the last wrestling event I went to was WrestleMania when it was here, like back in 2016. When WrestleMania was here at the stadium, at the Cowboy Stadium, AT&T. Yeah, that's the last time I went to see wrestling. I'm lucky enough because it's coming back, and I'm actually going to be a part of it in next year in WrestleMania because it comes back in April. So I will be actually.
Oh, so you're giving me tickets? You heard it here, folks. I got to go to my first WWE since I've never been as a kid.
But no, I've been plenty of times when I was a kid. My dad's taken me to some. My dad's actually taken me to all of them, and then the only time that I went was when me and my cousin snuck in the WrestleMania. I mean the Raw here at the American Airlines.
Wow,
But
dude,
it was
that's
great.
insane, bro.
Yeah,
That's
that
so
was
crazy
great.
because that was at the peak. I'm telling you, like, we would show up on Tuesday just talking about like the whole script, everything, because, as a 12, 13-year-old kid, it's like, it's everything. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, did you see blah, blah, blah? They got into this beef. They were
Yeah.
backstage and, you'd come to school like, oh my God, it was the greatest shit ever.
Yeah.
Now, this is the reason why I was talking about how
You lost respect.
I lost respect as I got older, because it's like, oh, this shit is fake, dude. But it's like,
It's been fake.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
it's a man's soap opera, bro.
Yeah, it is. But also, the reason why I do give it so much respect now is because it's like I've been watching the wrestlers, and then how they talk about like the athletes and all that stuff, and like the amount of stress that they put on their body, like all the injury, everything, all that stuff is so real that I'm just like, man, yeah, that's crazy, dude. It's like, yeah, I like mad respect, man. It's like, because there's just no way that I could do that. And then you're looking at these, they're literally like Olympians up there just, doing all these flips and doing all this crazy stuff. And I'm just like, man, that's crazy.
It is watered down right now just because it's more geared towards kids.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Man, I don't know if.
The only time
I think it's been about maybe 17 years, maybe more since I've actually watched it. So
the only time I ever try it will catch my attention if they bring back like these old school wrestlers, because they have their moment where they'll bring the old people back.
Right.
And, then it's kind of like you kind of like tune in to watch it. But then you start realizing that these guys are old. They don't move. They don't look. They're a little older. It's just, it doesn't feel right when you see the Attitude Era WWE stepping in the ring, again and trying to go all, 100% again. It just doesn't look right.
I still can't believe you got to see Goldberg.
Yeah,
that was
I know.
like one of my
Bro,
favorite
he is so
wrestlers.
freaking huge.
Yeah, dude, he was like the spear.
Yeah,
Do you
and it
remember
was
that?
great, man. It was like I said, man, they had like a 3-man tag team as like the main event, and I remember seeing Stone Cold, The Rock, Goldberg, Kane, Undertaker, Triple H. Like I saw all of them like in the main event. It
Dude,
was
that's
great.
during their prime.
Yeah, and it was
Dude,
great.
Kane. Holy shit,
Kane had the mask on.
All I know, I was about to say, all I know now about Kane is that he doesn't
He's
use
the governor.
mask.
Well, I don't know if he's.
And when I see him, I was like, oh, that's why he used the mask. Dude, and then since you're going down this lane, this memory lane, all right, so especially because of these shitty ass, fake ass boxing fights, do you remember Chavez versus De La Hoya?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
That stands in my mind as like one of the greatest boxing fights that I ever witnessed as a kid. I remember we didn't even get it because we were too poor. So it was like our neighbor, because I lived in apartments as a kid, and one of the neighbors, like this white guy, he bought it and he opened his windows. So everybody from the outside, we could all like chill on the balcony and just watch the fight, And I was like, oh, because it was like it was like at the peak. Well, it was Chavez was pretty much done, almost done with his career, and you have De La Hoya coming in, into his prime, and it was just a spectacle, right? Because you're like, holy shit, dude, you have two titans about to like clash into each other.
One of my favorite fighters back then, because I was younger. My parents, my dad, he's a big heavy into boxing especially when I was little, you know. So I would watch boxing all the time, and I remember watching this one guy, and his name was Butterbean.
Oh yeah.
So Butterbean, every time I would see Butterbean fight, he'd be fighting these tall guys, right? And he's real big and fat. Yeah, but he was like part of the super heavyweight.
I don't know what that.
It's a super heavyweight league.
Right.
Or, super heavyweight. Kind of like class. I'm sorry, super heavyweight class. So when I would see him swing, he'd just be like random throwing haymakers But man, he was a good fighter, and I was little, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, dang, he's really fat to be fighting, but he's throwing all kinds of swings. So
but that dude was a beast.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he was.
He's like, don't get caught with one of those punches, dude, because he'll knock you out.
Yeah, so I always remember Butterbean. That would always be like my number one fighter that I always remember about was Butterbean.
And then you have like UFC coming up on, I guess like I guess they started getting big kind of like in 2005 and further up. I do like the fact that one of these street guys who made his name on the internet got picked up by UFC. Do you remember that dude? What was it? Kimbo Slice, I believe.
Yeah, Kimbo Slice.
Yeah, didn't he start on the streets just like fighting people?
I think that's how UFC normally started, was on the streets. But
no. Because like UFC was like professional MMA fighters.
Yeah,
bro.
but
it's what put on the map like all these mixed martial arts. Like it wasn't just about boxing anymore. It was like you had to have, if you know how to wrestle, you can come to UFC. If you know how to do a stand-up game, if you know Taekwondo, if you do if you know all these different types of techniques, you can bring it over to UFC, and you fight people even though you might not have the same style, but that's why it's mixed martial arts, because like one dude might be heavy on wrestling and the other guy might be just heavy on the Taekwondo or something.
I'm not a big UFC fan. Like, I just don't follow, because I think I can tell you a lot of boxers, but I can't tell you a lot of UFC fighters.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. I don't follow a lot of UFC. I mean, I know Conor McGregor.
Yeah, that's it.
Cormier.
I know Conor McGregor, the Diaz brothers.
Yeah.
What's that other Mystique or whatever his name is?
I don't know. I think the further we talk, the more we disrespect UFC.
I'm sorry, guys. We need to get more into the UFC studies. But like I said, I mean, that's just not everybody's cup of tea.
So how was that for you, anyways? For that fight for that I was talking about, De La Hoya versus what's his name?
Chavez?
Yeah, Chavez.
I mean,
That's what I'm telling you. It was just really memorable. Like I said, we couldn't get it. We couldn't afford the pay-per-view.
I think mine was.
That is like
it was De La
legitimately-
Hoya versus what's his? I want to say his name is or I don't want to say his name is Ortiz, or is it? Anyway, I remember seeing I forgot his name. I think it was Vargas. Yeah. Or De La Hoya versus Vargas. That's the one I remember, because I remember they were like
pretty good fight,
really heavy on the promotional.
And recently, De La Hoya's been really heavy on the coke.
Yeah, I know,
dude. What event was that? Was it? Because I know Snoop Dogg was there. Maybe
it's probably
it was some kind of event. He looked like he was out of his fucking mind, dude. I was like, yo, this motherfucker is drunk and high.
I'm not sure,
something.
but I know like him and Canelo are having issues right now.
Like what kind of issues?
Like they're ready to fight issues. Well, it's because so ever since Canelo left Golden Boy, there's just been heavy problems, and Canelo has came out and spoken about De La Hoya, talking about his loyalty's not there. He was never loyal to anybody but himself, and he's the reason why he got like a lot of promises that were not given to him.
Yeah,
to Canelo. And then another thing was like, I think it was a trainer or somebody like that. He kind of like betrayed him. He just said that he's not good for business, So he just stepped away. And then since then,
I mean, it makes sense.
It became like a heavy. Now it's like a heavy argument, like because you heard De La Hoya is coming out of retirement, like he's trying to come back to boxing. And people were like, and he told Canelo, he tweeted like, "I'll kick your ass."
No.
And then Canelo's like,
dude, Canelo destroy that man, dude, because he's so old now, dude. I'm like, dude,
you lost it.
It's kind of like the way I view it is kind of like you were at your prime. It's like when you were younger, you could do a lot of things. Now, when I'm older and I try to do something, it's like I'll fuck my hand up, and I'm like, that's the reason why I don't do that anymore. And I think that's what he's gonna learn, dude. Because there's just no way he can fight Canelo, and there's like
I give a lot of props to Manny Pacquiao, because he's in his 40s and he's still going at it with these young.
But that's different, right? You're talking about like Manny Pacquiao versus De La Hoya, he's been in retirement, obviously partying his ass off. I'm telling you, that clip that I saw of him where I didn't even know what the fuck he was talking about. This dude looks like he's fucking out of his mind. Yeah. He's like, oh, look. I was like, damn, he's coked out. What is going on, bro?
Yeah, I mean, it just, like I said, it just certain situations belong. Just, yeah. I'm sorry, I can't talk about it no more.
Hey guys, we're taking a break to talk to you about Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Me and Phil did it. You can too. And the best part? It's free. Anchor hosts our podcast. And I don't know if you noticed, but we didn't start sounding great until we switched to Anchor. They have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast. And honestly, the best part is Anchor will distribute your podcast on everything: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And you can make money, guys. Trust me, Anchor is everything you need. Anchor. Anchor. Anchor.
You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
The fuck is that?
All right, guys, we're back with some "What the fuck is that?" with Alfonso. Now, these stories may sound bizarre, weird, and we're just making shit up, but no, they're real. And what do we have today, Alfonso?
All right, children 12 and 14 use AK-47s and other guns in a shooting rampage in Florida.
Get the fuck out of here.
Dude, I feel like we've done so many Florida stories.
I know, right? I mean, 'cause that's like that's the motherland of what the fuck. You know?
I need to go sub to their subreddit
Florida.
at Florida.
Yeah, it's like Horda.
Yeah, dude. So 2 foster children broke into a home Tuesday night. They used guns they found inside the residence, including an AK-47, to repeatedly fire at deputies for about 30 minutes, according to the sheriff's officials.
Dang.
Yeah, dude. So the sheriff's county said a 12-year-old boy and a 14-year-old girl face felony charges of attempted first-degree murder of law enforcement officers and armed burglary.
So that's okay. First, that's some badass kids. Okay, let's just start off right there. Some badass kids, right? You're 12 and 14, and so you go into this house, you break in, you see a bunch of guns.
And your first thought is,
It's like-
let me start firing at the police?
Yeah. I'm thinking, okay, these kids play too much GTA, and they thought like they put a cheat code on themselves to where
That's so true. Yeah.
they thought that they were invincible. Like, okay, we're gonna get the fuck out of here, because this happened in the video game. So I think it happened in real life. That's kind of like, okay.
Are you making a case for why video games make violent children?
No, I'm
Is
just
that what
making a
you're doing
case
right
of
now?
kids are stupid,
Philip?
and they actually think they can do this shit in video games that they can do in real life. I'm not saying the video games are the issue. I'm just saying kids are fucking stupid. That's what I'm saying. I'm not blaming the video games. I'm blaming the kids.
Yeah, dude. So these kids are foster children, right? So they broke out of their foster home, and not a foster home, but it was like kind of like a medical facility. They broke out of there. And, so the search started because the 12-year-old is insulin dependent. And, if he goes without insulin without a couple hours, he could die. You know?
And that's not, why are you robbing shit if you are medicine? Like, why are you knowing that? Okay.
Dude, well, it's like, I don't know.
If you know you need to, okay. All right. I get it. They're young. All right. Watch out, Phil. Here comes the dad in you. Okay. So we need to have some common sense in this world. Okay. So if I know that I need to take some medicine, right, and I need to take it every couple of hours, why the fuck would I go out and do something to jeopardize me not taking this medicine? So you're going to if you're going to go rob somebody, chances are either you're going to get killed or the cops are going to come, you're going to go to jail, and you're not going to have your insulin.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure this 14-year-old is not thinking about that.
No.
They're just thinking about,
dude,
shit, I got 5 stars on my fucking life. Let me get the fuck out of here.
These are foster children, and I know somebody personally who grew up in the foster system, and it is I understand why they wanted to break out and leave. It's never good, man. It's just
You're right. Okay, so I shouldn't talk
it's
down
fucked
upon
up.
foster kids because I don't know what it's like to live there. But still, just like, would you rather be in a foster home or would you rather be in jail? But I guess at this point, it's like it really doesn't matter because they're both the same. Foster home.
I think like for them, it just seems like both of the
But
situations.
that also
jail.
falls down. You have no guidance, which I can't blame the kids.
Well, it's like they don't have parents. They're dealing, and who knows how the situation is at this place that they're at. So,
true.
Anyway, so the homeowner, somebody heard in the neighborhood, they heard like the break-in, right? Obviously, somebody was breaking windows. And that's how these kids got into the home. So the homeowner was contacted by the police, and they said, "Hey, dude, we're looking for these children. Is there any way that they might be in your house? Because we heard the neighbors complaining, saying that there was like obvious signs of a break-in." And he was like, "Dude, there's nobody home, but there's an AK-47, a pump shotgun, a handgun, and about 300 rounds of ammo sitting around. So y'all boys better get ready."
Strap up, boys. It's your turn. You hear about it.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah, dude, they definitely got to do that shit.
So my thing is, it's like, okay, how did? Because I know they shot at the cops, right?
Yeah,
They had a full blown, shootout.
Yeah, for about 30 minutes, and the whole time the deputy never fired back, bro.
But that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Because
Yeah,
if it was me, like I said on the last episode,
no.
I would have
I would've
unloaded
been
the
like-
whole fucking clip. I would have been like, "Oh, you want to go against guns, huh? You want to play
Yeah.
that round? You want to play that battle game?
bro.
Watch this. I'll put that whole drum on that motherfucker."
I'm like, is this fucking kid's like fucking Warzone to the max,
They ain't
baby?
lying. I'm telling you, they thought they were like, okay, if we die, we're gonna go to the gulag. That's what I'm thinking. They're thinking. They're like probably in there loading up the ammunition. They're like, all right, I'm trying to look for a vest. I'm pretty sure they got through playing Warzone. They're like, look, if we die, it's okay. Because depending on when they played Call of Duty, they were either going to go to the gulag or they just had to wait like 30 seconds and they were going to get resurrected and come down from the sky.
Bro, check this out. So the 14-year-old, right, like multiple times they had been asked to put their shit down and walk out. The 14-year-old
I'm
comes
no
out,
punk bitch.
yeah, which is a girl. The 14-year-old girl comes out of the garage with a pump shotgun, levels it at deputies.
Oh, shit.
And they're warning her to put it down.
Yeah.
She walked back into the garage. She came back a second time, and that's when deputies opened fire after taking multiple rounds. Dude, she walked out like a fucking gangster, bro, out of the garage like, "Bitch, get the fuck off my yard!" Boom. She started offloading, man. I'm like, dude, what are
Yeah.
you? Oh, man, these kids are that. This is like a GTA moment, man.
Yeah. Like I said, they thought they had. I think in their head they were like, "We're gonna get away with this." Like at some point, like, do you think you're gonna get away with it?
I think so, right? Because, dude, it's like she's
Your
pumped with adrenaline.
Yeah.
It's
gonna
like
say that.
anything goes right now.
Yeah.
I think the fact that, the deputies showed restraint and not to shoot at because they knew that they were dealing with a 12 and a 14-year-old kid, the 12-year-old boy and a 14-year-old
Yeah.
girl. And you know what's funny? Because usually when you read these type of stories that have to do with minors, you never get to see the pictures of the kids because they're minors. But since they've already been charged, they have like the names out and the pictures out of the kids. And they look so fucking young, bro. It's a trip. I'm like, I can't believe this bitch walked out with a fucking shotgun. It was like, "Get off my lawn, my lawn."
This motherfucker's watching way too many movies.
Yeah, dude, that's
I think that was
bro.
like their moment. They're like, "Get off my fucking yard."
Your kids ain't doing that shit?
Hell no. Because my kids ain't dumb. I tell you that for once. My kids may do some dumb shit, but shooting at cops isn't one of them. I could go ahead and make sure that's off the list. They may put
Do you have guns?
yes,
You do?
I do.
Oh, okay.
And the difference is it depends on how you raise your kids. Because my oldest one, he's very he's mature for his age. And if something ever were to go down on some shit like that, I know he would do the right thing. So, like, if somebody were to break in, I know he'd be scared, but I hope to God that he would have it in his head that, look, you need to protect your brother and your mom.
Yeah.
And just
yeah.
unload the clip on these motherfuckers.
Unload a clip on the motherfucker.
Just unload it,
Boom.
bro. I just unload it. I don't care if he's down. You just unload. You make sure no bullet is left behind. I don't give a damn if it's a warning shot. No bullet is left behind.
Oh my god, dude! And recently too, I know the governor just signed that bill, right? Where you can anybody can carry now.
Yeah, you can walk around anything. Now, remember when I got
my God.
I had got my license to carry, right?
Yeah.
And they were telling us in the class, you know, you get your license to carry, you can carry around anything. So they were like, you can carry around machetes, you can carry around swords. I was like, holy shit, you can carry around a sword? And I was like, in my head, I just got through watching like Game of Thrones. The
That's
battle,
the one thing I
the
was
battle of
thinking
the bastards. You know, when Jon Snow's in the middle of the whole army with the whole fucking sword. I'm like, that's gonna be me at Walmart on Sunday against all these fucking shoppers. I'm just gonna walk in that bitch with a sword.
During the Black sale.
Yes, during the Black Friday sales.
No, dude. Shit, dude. I had there's a pistol in here. There's a couple fucking ARs. Let a motherfucker bust in here. You know?
I know you got this fucking grenade right here. I don't know what the fuck you need that for. You're
It's
like,
not
here,
real.
catch.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, you gonna
But
blow
let a
every-
motherfucker try it though.
Yeah, if I go, we all go.
That's my last resort, dude. It's like, shit, if I'm gonna go, all of y'all motherfuckers coming with me. Click.
Well, I appreciate everybody hanging out with us today, guys. You know, we're back on the road again. Make sure you check out our latest episodes at talkerswithbeer.com. If you are watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell button and hit that like button. Leave us a comment. If you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, any of those audio platforms, make sure you hit the follow button on that so you can catch up and listen to us and hang out with us. We appreciate all of our followers and our sponsors. We appreciate those guys because, you know, every time we miss an episode, they're always on us like, hey, where y'all at? No show today, yada, yada, yada. But it's good, man. It's a good feeling. It sucks, but it's a good feeling knowing that people constantly want to hear you. You know what I'm saying? They constantly want to
Support the show.
And, you know, people really like what we're doing. And at first, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We were just doing something.
Hey, dude, this thing's evolved into what
Yeah.
it is now.
Yeah.
It's only taken like 20-something episodes,
Yeah,
but we're here.
we're almost coming up to a full year of doing the episode of the
Right.
podcast. So
Oh,
we're pretty proud of that.
Yeah.
So just like I said, just make sure you tune in, follow us on all of our social media pages, and continue to spread the word. Follow us on TikTok because we're gonna blow up on there. And don't forget, if we are going to be in the TLC ladder match, we'll let you motherfuckers know. So that way I could be out there. TLC.
Hell
Anyways, remember guys, always keep those tacos hot and spicy.
Those beers coming. We're out.
Hey, will you guys let me know if this ever airs?
I hate goodbyes.
Get the hell out of here.
Bye, Felicia.
Think I'll go home now.